Well, hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode, I will give you the buyer's guide for the Felt FR Advanced 105 road bike. And then at the end, I will give you also my advice, should you just go ahead and buy it or should you just consider this bike. Let's first answer the question, who is this bike for? So you see, Felt FR Advanced platform is all about lightweight climbing machines. So if you are in the market for a bit of a lightweight stiff bike, then definitely you should have a look at the Felt FR range. As it is now, the retail price of this bike is $3,550, which I think it's a bit high price for what it is, but we will come back to that price a bit later when we dive into the specifications of this bike. Also, when you look at the paint scheme on this bike, there's only one paint scheme on offer. This is this June gray, kind of metallic gray paint scheme with a hint of black. It looks decent, looks nice, but again, I wish that Felt would offer another paint scheme at least on this bike. It is what it is, and a bunch of other bike manufacturers are just offering one paint scheme. Okay, now we can dive into the specifications of this bike and really see what do you get for your hard-earned money. As always, we can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is the Felt carbon fiber frame with their UHC advanced technology and also TechStream carbon fibers. The same story goes for the carbon fiber fork on this bike. Both frame and the fork on this bike, they come with a lifetime warranty from Felt, which is excellent. But this lifetime warranty, of course, is applied only on the first owner of the bike. Of course, frame and the fork come with 12mm through axles, both front and the back. There is a press fit bottom bracket, BB386 standard, and also flat mount disc brakes, both front and the back, and standard seat post, 27.2mm round seat post, which is excellent. I will just mention here that for this bike with the 105 group set, you have an external cable routing. So if you like internal cable routing, then definitely this bike is not for you. I have no problems with the external cable routing. I think it's totally fine, easy to service, your mechanic is gonna love you, and I'm not so obsessed with any aerodynamic gains, so external cable routing works fine for me, but just keep that in mind. Now let's talk about the maximum tire clearance for this frame and the fork, and it is 28mm, which in my opinion is more than enough for this type of the bike. When you look at the group set on this bike, so the shifters, front mech and the rear mech, everything is Shimano 105 mechanical group set. So this is the Shimano's R7000 mechanical group set, 11-speed group set. It's a full set here, as I said, shifters, front mech and the rear mech. And I will just mention on the rear mech that the rear mech is the short cage rear mech. So the maximum cassette you can fit here is 1130 cassette. When you look at the crankset on the bike, you are again getting a Shimano 105 crankset. Excellent stuff here, 5236 crankset. It is paired with the Shimano's 105 cassette, which is 1130 cassette, and also the bottom bracket is the Token Ninja Light bottom bracket. I'm not expecting any creaking noises here because the creaking noises from the bottom bracket always come from the quality problems with the carbon frames, and I'm expecting here that the quality control of this Felt bikes is very good. Chain on this bike, again, no cutting corners here. It is a Shimano 105 HG601 chain. I would advise you in the future to keep with any Shimano 11-speed compatible chain. It can be, for example, even Shimano Ultegra chains or Shimano chains from the mountain bike world. Now when you look at the braking system on this bike, what do you get? So the braking system is the Shimano's 105 hydraulic disc brakes, front and the back, with the Shimano's RT70 braking rotors. And here you have 160 millimeter braking rotors at the front and only 140 millimeters at the back. So this 140 millimeter braking rotor in the back is an absolute no-no in my book, and I would immediately replace it with 160 millimeter braking rotors, because what you want is a good heat dissipation and also good stopping power. And also these RT70 braking rotors, they are fine now out of the box as they are, but I would also advise you in the future, once when you destroy them, then definitely buy yourself a Shimano Ultegra level rotors, just because of better heat dissipation and the Shimano's Ice Tech technology. Now when we look at the wheel set on this bike, you get Divox wheels, RDS A1 wheels with Shimano RS 470 hubs front and the back, 12 millimeters through axles front and the back, and this wheel set is a classical aluminum wheel set, 23 millimeters rim height and 19 millimeters rim width, and of course it is tubeless compatible, but you will need to provide your own tubeless tape and tubeless valves. Also, I will mention here that this wheel set is probably very heavy. I would expect it to be somewhere around 1,900–2,000 grams. And definitely in the future, the first upgrade I would do, once when you destroy this wheel set, is to buy yourself a better wheel set. You can have a look at DT Swiss aluminum wheel set. You can easily buy an excellent wheel set for approximately, $700 to $1,000, no problem. Also, the tires on this wheel set are Vittoria Rubino 4 tires, 25 millimeter tire, which is fine as it is now. Again, when you destroy these tires in the future, I would definitely buy 28 millimeter tires because of much higher air volume inside and much better and smoother ride. So this is just an advice for the future. Also, when you look at here, some of the smaller components on the bike, like the handlebar and the stem. So both of these components are again from Divox, an in-house brand of felt. They are both aluminum pieces, and I have no problems with that. It's perfectly fine. Nothing is proprietary here. Very easy to replace the handlebar and the stem. Very easy to adjust your position on the bike. Also, when you look at the seat post here, the seat post is the Divox Post C2. I would expect this to mean it's a carbon fiber seat post. If it's not a carbon fiber seat post, this is something, again, I would advise you to upgrade. Buy yourself a good carbon fiber seat post, or ask the bike shop to throw in any kind of carbon fiber seat post here, just because it's going to soak up some of the smaller road bumps. But I believe that this one is a carbon fiber seat post. Saddle on the bike, you are getting a Pro Logo Dimension saddle. Personally, I like Pro Logo saddles. If you don't like it, it's very easy to replace, because saddles are always a personal preference. And I'm glad here that Felt has given a total bike weight, which is 8.44 kilograms. I'm expecting this to be for some kind of size 56, so with the pedals, probably 8.7 kilograms out of the box. As you see immediately, definitely not one of the lightest bikes on the market, but you have to take into account that this very basic aluminum wheel set from Divox is probably around 2 kilograms just on the wheel set side. And definitely this carbon frame and the fork is not top of the line creme de la creme that Felt can do. So all in all, in a summary, what is my advice to you? Should you just go ahead and buy this bike, or should you just consider this bike? Well, when you consider the retail price of $3,550, I believe it's a bit too much. I think this bike should be maximum price of $3,200. So if you can get this bike from your local bike shop for $3,200, definitely go ahead and buy this bike, because if not, you can always have a look at Canyon bikes, Giant bikes, Merida, and you can definitely find this level of the bike with the Shimano 105 full group set, aluminum wheels, carbon frame and the fork for about $3,000 to $3,200. That's why I think that this bike is just a little bit overpriced as it is. So I think this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!